What's going on, everyone? It's your Beaver, MillennialStacker, and today I want to talk about inflation. So as we all know, inflation is going crazy, and one thing that I think people need to talk more about, maybe people are positioning their portfolios for it before they mention it, but this whole 50 basis point hike in Fed funds rates and everything, put up the American gold coin, talking about the Fed, but yeah, to me, that is not going to do anything for inflation. As long as the rates are below inflation, like if interest rates are below the rate of inflation, the interest rate is not going to do anything to stop inflation. How's that a deterrent if it's still better to take out money and spend it today than to save and wait till you could actually afford it? This is the logic that we're living in society. Therefore, it's easy to justify with a high inflation or interest rates below the rate of inflation. It's better to just buy it now, even if you can't afford it, as opposed to wait until you could actually afford it. Keeping in mind, you don't care about that mentality, really doesn't care about a credit rating or anything of that nature. It's just, what could I get? How cheap could I get it? That's the whole viewpoint from that kind of mentality. And it's bound to be a losing mentality, but in some ways it does make sense. And that's the scary part. Because what are you setting up your country to become if it's encouraging irrational spending? To me, that's a broken system. That's a system that cannot last. It's completely unsustainable. It's really not going to deter inflation, as I said, because it's cheaper to spend the money today on credit as opposed to save for it, because inflation's going to go way higher. That's going to raise the expectations of inflation. When interest rates are below the rate of inflation, the expectations of inflation goes up, which will further cause inflation to go up because people don't see the point of saving. My friends I'm talking to today who were saving and have been smart with money for a while, they're buying stuff because they're just like, well, I might as well just buy it because it's like the inflation's outpacing my portfolio now. What's the point of investing it? Which makes sense in many ways. If inflation is outpacing your portfolio, because inflation's at it's like 9% or something, right? And then just under 9%, last I checked. Yeah, if you're not meeting your investing goals of 10%, which growth is clearly slowing down, speaking as a whole, depending on what companies you own, obviously, yeah, just global growth is slowing. I think everyone should be prepared for that. If I'm beating Warren Buffett's rate of gains, average rate of gains as an investor, the average earnings are insane. There's no way that I'm smarter than Warren Buffett. Absolutely zero possibility of that. But that just speaks to the amount of growth that we've seen the past couple years. Something to think about. And that's also inflation. That's the growth. Inflation generally follows the growth. Think about what kind of growth we've seen. I'm kind of anticipating similar rates of inflation to keep up with that growth, because all the growth that we've seen we all know this. It was all generated by the Fed. The whole point of it was we all thought things should go down, but the saying, don't fight the Fed, we've all learned it the past few years. Whether you knew it before or learned it in the past 2 years, it could be a difference of much gains. But the Fed's printing money. I'm not going to be scared to invest. I don't even see a hawkish outcome here. I don't see the Fed trying to fight inflation. They're focused on a soft landing. Who cares Be responsible with your currency. You printed all this money to prevent a recession, but now you must cause a recession in order to fight the inflation. What was the logic in making any of these decisions to start off with? To prevent the first recession, why not just deal with it? You made the problem worse, now we're going to feel more pain. It didn't really... A lot of the people that are going to feel the pain the most, they didn't even get saved from that recession. They got devastated. Many people, people could go back to work, but what if it's like me where you're making six figures before the pandemic? I ain't making that money now. My job ain't paying me like it used to. Everything costs more. That is my reality. I'm not looking for a sob story because I'm happy with the way everything's turned out because I skated to where the puck was going to be. And that's something that has really helped me out in these times. I get side hustles. I do what I need to do to keep up, to not move backwards, keep moving forwards in life. Doesn't matter if you ain't making money at work like you used to, you gotta figure it out. Not everyone's gonna hand you everything to you. You gotta go and work for it. You gotta go figure it out. Get it on your own sometimes. That's just point of view. That's just my opinion. Not everyone agrees on that. Not everyone thinks that that's the world we should be living in, where you gotta go and get your own and make it work for yourself. I kind of come from the sink or swim kind of branch. You make your bed, now you lay in it. That's just kind of my school of thought that I typically come from. That is how people need to be in order to beat inflation, in order to actually move forward. And I see inflation, it's going to get harder and harder and harder the more the expectations of inflation go up, the more we hope for this soft landing. And as long as interest rates are below the rate of inflation, I'm talking actual interest rates for you and me, for everyday people. I'm not talking Fed funds rates. The rate of interest you or me realizes must be above the rate of inflation, period. Otherwise, it will do nothing to stop inflation. And that's my point of view, that's my thoughts, and that's what I'm prepared for. And I'm prepared for rates to go up above the rate of inflation. I don't know how long it will take, I don't know when it'll happen, but I'm prepared for that to happen, and I'm ready for it. I'm skating to where the puck's gonna go. I'm preparing for what's coming next. Once I get the puck, I'll make my move and I'll pass it off, I'll shoot it. You don't hold on to it forever, that's just the way the game goes. You gotta keep going to where the puck's gonna be. Sometimes you gotta pass it off so you can reposition. Sometimes there's just too much stuff to deal with when you have that puck for too long. That's just the way reality goes. You get overwhelmed. You make mistakes. Maybe I might be early to exit certain positions. Maybe I'm early on oil. Who knows? But I'd rather be 6 months too early than 1 day too late. That's just my personal opinion. And that's my strategy. That's what makes me money. It might not make me as much money as some of you, but I bet it's what I understand. I gotta put money into what I understand. This is how my understanding goes for investing. And this is just my thoughts and opinions from a random beaver on the internet, not even a financial beaver. But stay positive. Please join the Beaver Dam fam, like and subscribe with all notifications on it. Let me know what your thoughts are on interest rates below the rate of inflation, having real yields be negative. I would really like to know all of your opinions on that. So please comment down below. Stay positive. See you next time. Thanks. Bye.